comes to the dating world, there's a big red flag apparently that a poll found out. The biggest dating red flag for Gen Z and millennial women includes...
Is this from a woman's perspective?
It's from a woman's perspective. Okay. Includes no hobbies and what? What do you think? Just throw a guess out.
Video games?
No.
Oh.
The Joe Rogan podcast. Listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. So, yeah, the poll found that out. And the poll was conducted by Change Research, who solicited information from 1,033 registered voters between the ages of 18 to 34, so Gen Z and millennials. What they found is nearly double the number of women viewed listening to Joe Rogan as a bigger red flag than someone owning a gun. Not that the two are connected, but just saying. For what it's worth, the Joe Rogan Experience has been and will continue to be the most popular podcast in the world by far, and so it's perplexing, the red flag, given the numbers. So they have some biggest dating red flags and green flags for them as well. So the largest red flag reported in the study was political in nature. 76% of the women responding that MAGA was a red flag for them.
But hold on. What about the Joe Rogan podcast in particular that is making them... I think
it's just a general, like... almost as if that's like a personality trait, listens to the Joe Rogan podcast, like, then you're sort of pigeonholed into this area where, like, you're that guy, right? You're this dude, right?
What dude is that?
They think it's some, like, overbearing machismo, fucking too much masculinity kind of thing, or, conspiracy theorist, doesn't believe anything. Who knows what it could be? I'm not in the mind of a woman, but I can kind of get a sense that that's what they don't like about it. Like, they roll their eyes at it as if, like, oh, he's watching his fucking show again, like his podcast or whatever, and thinking that, it's news or what. Because, I used to talk about space a lot to one of my exes, and she used to roll her eyes and laugh at the fact that I was so interested in it and fascinated by it.
Okay.
Anytime I brought it up, here we go with the space thing again. Like, it was a turnoff, apparently, but it was something I really enjoyed.
All right, hold on. Couple things, okay? One, to Joe Rogan's credit, one of the things that he rarely ever gets into is the relationship sphere.
Very rarely.
Rarely.
Yeah.
That is the one thing he hardly ever touches on. That's number one. Okay. Number two, I want to hear some of your red flags, to be honest, because I'm just saying, from the last one, kind of curious. And I can't really relate or get this Gen Z fucking new group of bitches. I really can't. But it's funny to me how, again, they're mad at men for liking Joe Rogan, but how many times do these bitches, or do you know, that are binge watching the Kardashians, Desperate Housewives, whatever, I Love Rapping Hip Hop of Atlanta, whatever. Like, that was a big...
The Barbie movie, for instance.
Whatever.
You want to be laughing about how often they think of the Roman Empire. When's the last time you thought about the Barbie movie? 5 seconds ago.
Think about it. Every woman you've dated had a fucking show that you're like, really? You're into that? Mm-hmm. Really? And, like, whatever. Like, that didn't deter you. Like, well, if she... Maybe it's a red flag for you. I don't know. But it's like, oh, wow, you binge-watched fucking Desperate Housewives? Oh, you're one of those
Love
people.
Is Blind? Or
it's like...
90 Day Fiancé. You know what I try to do? I try to get involved in it. Because one of my exes, she would watch the Kardashians. And so, and of course, at first, I'm just like, really? Like, we're what? Okay. And I sat down, and I'm like... And then I start just kind of cracking jokes, like, in between it. And she started laughing. So then we were kind of having fun with it.
Yeah.
So to speak. I mean, it wasn't the same way like when I was watching sports, but
But that's interesting that the Joe Rogan's, because I remember there really, I forgot when exactly, but when Trump was, I think it was during his presidency or whatever, but there was a time where it was if a man was either a Republican or a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form, they were public enemy number one. Do not date, and it got so bad to where the conservatives had to create their own dating app. No, for real, because it was that bad. It was that bad. So,
Well, maybe that's what ties into it. That might be the reason, because, like I said, the next one down, with 76% reporting that it was a red flag for them, that MAGA was a red flag. So they might be still, equating the two as being one. But coming in at number 2 was they have no hobbies. 66% was that.
yeah, I think, look, men need to have hobbies.
Right.
You really do. If you really like hanging out with a chick all day, look, that's a recipe for disaster. Okay? And if you can tolerate that, God bless you, but she cannot tolerate that. Okay? But no, you need to have hobbies. But everyone does. You got to have hobbies. You cannot be up each other's asses all day.
Right.
And I think you've seen that. You saw that with COVID. When the COVID lockdowns hit, how many domestic violence went up, divorces went up even more.
Alcohol abuse, all
Right,
of it.
everything. Because at the end of the day, people realize we cannot fucking stand each other. We can only microdose each other. An hour here, an hour there. But when you're locked into a room together for X amount of time, you're gonna hate each other.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that. Men and women are not the same. Just not.
No. Well, going on, 55% of women said they identify as a communist, as a major red flag as well. So they think that men. So it's weird. 76% said MAGA was a red flag. And now 55% said that if they identify as a communist, that's a red flag as well.
What about atheists? Is that on there?
Nope, it's not on there.
Huh.
Yeah. Huh. That's right.
All right.